Hello and welcome back to episode 6 of my Pokemon Emerald Catch Everything run. Today we're back in Dewford, so we finished off the episode last time with catching 3 Pokemon that you can only get with the Old Rod, and so now we are ready to move on to Slateport, which is our next destination. So we can just speak to Mr. Briney and head over there. There are no new Pokemon available through fishing on the next route, so the next route is... I'm still trying to get... I can't decide if I'm saying route or route. The next route has... well, if you fish here, you can get 70% Magikarp and 30% Tentacool. So it's the same as Slateport, as Dewford was. We do have some trainers on the beach here, so that's probably how we're going to start off the episode. Just to show you how my party's shaping up. We've got Zubat, which I should probably have healed up. And then our next two are Combusken and Courier, and we do still have Zigzagoon in the team, giving us... Oh, that's a free Hyper Potion. So that is the kind of thing that you do get from Zigzagoon. Taylor and Abra. Taylor have kind of been keeping around to do some damage to Pokemon I want to catch, and Abra has Teleport and Flash. Courier now also has Teleport, so I don't really need to keep Abra around, but it's as good an option as any for the moment, I guess. So let's try and find some double battles, I think. So I'm going to walk up here, and then hopefully that's a double battle. I think double battles are the easier way for me to get experience for Zubat, because it still can't do much damage at all. So we have a Wingull and a Marill, which Combusken cannot really do anything to either. I guess it can... I'll Leech Life and double kick the Marill. It can double kick pretty effectively. I'm surprised that didn't kill. Water Gun isn't too powerful, but might do some damage, I guess. And that does absolutely nothing. Zubat's going to be pretty useless until we get a flying move on it effectively. So I don't know actually off the top of my head what level it learns Wing Attack, but that's probably the first move it learns. And so if I go for, I guess, just double kick into the... I probably should have Embered there, because Wingull has better defense than it does special defense, but I don't know, I don't think Ember would have killed either, so not too much of a loss. And hopefully Leech Life finishes off Marill, and then we should get some good experience from this fight, hopefully. Unfortunately, that wasn't very good experience. We will Ember the Wingull just to finish it off. Yeah, so there are in total, I believe, 6 trainers on this beach, and they're all fairly easy. None of them give a huge amount of money or anything particularly special. But they should give some decent experience to Zubat, which is kind of the most important thing at the moment. And we get instant 3rd trainer. So there are a few other things on this beach as well that you can pick up, some items. I think someone gives you the soft sand. There are some heart scales, I believe, that are hidden, and a great ball that's hidden. So there's various things around if you really want to dig for them. There's also a... I don't know why I Supersonic. I probably should just Leech Life or switch, but I will Supersonic and then switch, I guess. Hopefully it does not use Sand Attack again. Yeah, so Curlier's been retired for a little bit. It's now level 21, so it's a few levels higher than any of our other Pokemon. So we'll mostly be using Zubat when we can, and Combusken just to give that some experience as well. Combusken won't evolve again until level 36, so it's going to be quite a while. And we're starting to get to the stage in the game now where we're not as ridiculously overleveled as we have been for most of it so far. But it's still able to, well, more than capable of switching into like these standard trainers particularly. And we register Tubariki for a possible rematch, so we can do that later. And now we're going to challenge this guy. It's going to be quite a while actually, I think, until we get our next team member. So I won't spoil what it's going to be, but effectively basically the situation is that we can catch it much sooner than I'm going to start using it, and the reason for that is that I want to breed on a couple of egg moves, so that it's a much more useful Pokemon. Without those, it's going to be a bit unhelpful, I think. We do get a little bit of health back from that, but I am not going to kill a Wingull like that. Again, I probably should have switched out first turn. I don't know why I'm not doing that, but my brain's a bit slow today. There is also a seashore house that we can beat that I think has 3 trainers in, and that gives us 6 Soda Pops. So Soda Pop is a healing item that heals 60 HP, and so it's quite a good healing item at this point in the game, and having 6 of them for free is obviously a good thing. But the most important thing obviously there is the most important thing with all of that is the experience again for Zubat. Zubat did learn Astonish, so that's kind of, I guess, mildly helpful, but not really, because it has the it's only 20 base power and Ghost type move, so it's really not going to make too much of a difference to us. Leech Life is resisted. Again, I'll probably just Supersonic and then switch out. So at the moment we still don't have any stab moves on Zubat, so it's going to be a bit of a slow process getting it to a stage where it's usable, and but eventually it is a good Pokemon. It's very fast, with the impish nature especially. It's we've got decent defense as well, so I'm kind of looking forward to using it. I've used Crobat a couple of times. The other Pokemon I was considering using as my flying type was Skarmory, and Skarmory is probably a better pick, frankly, but I think Zubat's a bit more fun. It's faster. Poison type isn't a great typing in this generation, which is the main issue, but we pick up the Soft Sand from this girl here. Soft Sand boosts ground type moves by 20%, so it's pretty useful if you're using a Swampert, Marshtomp, and again we'll do this as a double battle because it saved me having to switch out with Zubat, I guess. Zubat does get less experience, so maybe this isn't the most sensible thing to do, but it's slightly faster, so... so I guess I will Leech Life and double kick the Tentacle, which doesn't quite kill. I don't think a Leech Life would have killed, so the fact I've hit the Azurill doesn't really matter too much. Being confused is a bit annoying, but I don't think there's any point in switching out. I'm not sure if I've got any berries that would be worth using, a Person Berry or Lumberry or something. We are going to be using berries later on in the run, but at least for now there's not too much point. I didn't realise that Bubble hit both Pokemon. That's quite interesting, although very weak. Right, so if I switch out... No, I don't want to switch out. I'm just going to... I could use a full heal. There's probably not any point. None of these. Heal. Confusion. Okay, well, I'm just going to Leech Life again. And... well, Leech Life the Tentacle, even though it definitely won't kill. And then I'll double kick the Azurill. Making intense strategy decisions in single-player Pokemon is probably a bit unnecessary, but passes the time, I guess. Yeah, so I was thinking about using Skarmory. Skarmory has really good physical defense and is, I mean, not completely frail on the special side either. So it's a really good Pokemon. It's got a decent attack stat as well, but it's just a bit. Oh, I'm just going to finish off this Tentacle because it has Supersonic, and I do not want to get Supersonic again. Yeah, it's got good attack stat, good defense, so it's a pretty good Pokemon to use. It's maybe slightly slow is the only issue you have, but in game you're kind of usually a bit over leveled, so it doesn't matter too much if it's a bit slow. However, it's a bit of a boring Pokemon effectively. And Steel isn't a great offensive type either, neither Steel or Poison. So I just decided to go with Crobat in the end, and yeah, hopefully I'll be left with a few other options as well. I'll leech life the... no, actually I'm going to leech life the Azurill and double kick Tentacool. Tentacool is just a quite annoying Pokemon at this point in the game because Curlier is over leveled. If Curlier was healthy, or if Curlier was level 18 again, then it would be a really good time to use it, but sadly it's not. And the reason why I double kicked the Tentacool was hoping that I would crit or something and then it couldn't supersonic, but now I'm confused and my attack's been dropped, so let's kill the Tentacool this time. Please don't hit yourself. Yeah, fantastic. So this should be the final turn. And then once we're done with the beach, we can move up into Slateport, so that shouldn't be too long, hopefully. The only reason I haven't switched out whilst confused is just that I don't want to split the experience too much. But I think I will probably start doing these trainers as single battles rather than double battles until Zubat's a bit stronger, or until we get the XP share, which we're actually not too far away from. That is, I believe you can pick that up immediately after you've done Dewford, but I'm not sure if it's the delivering the letter that gives you the XP share or delivering the Devon goods that gets you the XP share. One of those two things, and I should have used double kick probably, but it doesn't matter anyway because I hit myself. And having being charmed means that my attack is just much lower, so at least confusion is doing less damage than it would otherwise have done. But it would be nice if I could stop being confused. And there we go. Yeah, so we snap out confusion and we kill it with a crit. It would have killed even at -2 attack because Azurill is dreadful. So Tubalola does register us in her Pokénav, and we get a potion, and then there is a couple of hidden items, I believe. There's one around here somewhere. There's a heart scale, don't know exactly where. I guess it might be there. Nope. Okay, I'm not going to hunt for this for too long but there is a heart scale around the old man and his Zigzagoon. The Zigzagoon is picking up litter from the sea. So, oh, and it's right there. Somehow I didn't check that space earlier, but there we go. And have we fought these two? Yeah. And I think there is another hidden item under this green umbrella somewhere. Yeah, so we get the second heart scale there. And now we have fought all 6 of the trainers on the beach. So I'm going to come back and do this in a little bit, but I'm going to head up into Slateport and heal up first, and we can begin exploring the city a bit. So we've got this lighthouse here, and he doesn't have anything to give us, but we can also come into this market. So this place sells quite a few different things. So we've got some Pokédolls, which are pretty useless, but can be used if you have a secret base. And I think if we have a Pokemon that loves us enough, then this person will give us something. I think a ribbon, perhaps. So I do not want to give an item. I want to take the item from Zigzagoon, and we get an X attack, which might be useful. Okay, so even Combustion doesn't like us enough to do that, but yeah, we'll switch Zubat back in, and up here we've got some more stuff. That not everyone seems to be selling something. I think later on, I think you can buy. So we get told about the TM move Secret Power, which is how we make secret bases. I probably won't be doing too much with secret bases because they're a pretty useless thing, at least in this sort of playthrough. But yeah, these are pressing speed rankings. These are to do with making Pokeblocks, I believe, which supposedly turns Pokeblocks into medicine. And we get the powder jar. I don't actually know what the powder jar does, so that's quite exciting. The berry crush machines are at the direct corner upstairs. Did you know? Could you make berry powder? Yeah, so there's... I don't really know what berry powder does, but I don't think it's hugely important. And here's the Pokemon, and we can see this is the Pokemon Museum, but currently we can't get in there because of all the Team Aqua grunts and etc. that are queuing up. We can, however, come down here, and that's the shipyard that we're meant to be going to, so we'll go there in a second. But and we kind of get a hint that maybe natures have something to do with the stats of Pokemon. I'm kind of torn about natures. I think they make competitive play a lot more interesting and everything, but it's one of those things where, like, as a casual player, you just never understand it. Like, it doesn't show you on the Pokemon that, for instance, my impish nature gives me extra defense but lowers my special attack, unless you look that up effectively. And especially these games came out in 2003, I think, and yeah, it just seems a bit of an odd decision to have a mechanic, like quite a key mechanic, not explained properly to casual players. But the game is easy enough that casual players can have a bad nature and it won't matter too much. They'll just kind of get used to it, and I think the extra variation from playthrough to playthrough is probably a good thing. So Captain Stern doesn't seem to be around, but we will come and speak to everyone anyway. And I think we need to head upstairs as well and there's nothing back here. No, yeah, so we need to head upstairs to finish off this sub-quest, or at least continue it. And progress the story a little bit. Designing a large ship is more like making a big building. Useful info. Yeah, so Captain Stern is not around, and so we will need to go and find him, and I believe he is in the museum that we walked past earlier, but I don't think we're going to take on that just yet because I want to get some more. I want to finish off the beach first. So the next thing we're going to be looking at is the Pokemon Fan Club. So this is quite a useful building, I guess. It has a few things in here. So this is talking about Pokemon contests. In Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, the Pokemon contests are all spread around the region. So I believe the first Pokemon contest is that, and this is in Burden Turf, and then it's kind of spread around. Whereas in this game, they're all in Lily Cove, and so this woman will tell you if your Pokemon love you enough. So if you don't know, Zubat's final evolution is a happiness evolution, and the way you get happiness is there are a few different ways. It's using Pokemon in important battles, so gym leader battles and rival fights and stuff like that gives you some happiness. I'm not going to do this TV interview. Oh yes I am, apparently. There was spamming a Abra. Can we just say Abra? Yeah, so the other main way that you get happiness is by walking around. So every 255 steps you get 1 point in happiness, and in order to evolve from Golbat to Crobat, I believe you need around 210 happiness. I do not want to learn the move Swagger. Swagger confuses your opponent and gives them +2 attack, so they do more damage when they get confused. This is the name rater, so if we do want to change any of our Pokemon's nicknames later on, this is where we can do it. So you just speak to this guy and he will rate your Pokemon's names, and you can change the name of any Pokemon that you've caught, but not any that you've traded for. I don't really know why they've done that, why they don't let you change the name of Pokemon you've got in trade. I mean, I guess it keeps some of the personality, but yeah, it doesn't really bother. Like, it wouldn't bother me at all if someone who I traded my Pokemon to changed the name. and it just means some of the in-game trades you've got ridiculous names for you can't change. So this is where we'd be looking for Captain Stern, and the fat guy is too fat to get on the submarine, so poor him, that's his dream gone. We're looking for a ship, but the ferry service isn't available at the moment, so that'll kind of come in later in the game. So the final two buildings we haven't been to yet are the Pokemart and the Pokemon Center. I don't believe there's anything too interesting in here. So this is talking about basically building a diverse team, which I think I've got quite a cool team for this run. I think Blaziken is slightly better than, or slightly less common than Mudkip, sorry. And then I think Gardevoir gets quite a lot of use, but some of the Pokemon I'm going to be using do not, so I think it's quite a good team composition as well. And once we're done with the mart, I will head down to the beach house and we can take on that. Now we'll buy 10 Pokeballs just for good luck. We do still have plenty, but I never want to be caught. There's one last thing we need from the mart, which I had forgotten about, and we need to pick up some harbour mail, and that is used for picking up the coin case, I believe. So I think we can come down here. Yep, harbour mail for 50 Pokédollars. So we need to buy one of those. That just saves us a journey back to Slateport later on. Back on the beach, and we can take on this hut here, the beach house. And there are 3 trainers in here, so we're going to be fighting all of them. Have healed up and everything. So yeah, we'll lead off with Zubat, and hopefully we can continue leveling it up. Again, I still haven't checked when Zubat learns Wing Attack. I could teach it Steel Wing, but to be honest, there are so many electric and water types in between this route and the next gym that it's not really worth doing, I don't think. Yeah, Azurill used Splash. I didn't actually know that got Splash. Azurill is actually a normal type Pokemon, which is surprising because both of its evolutions are water type, and it is blue, so it looks like a water type. But no, it is not. And we do get 84 experience. That was absolutely not worth the time. So on this one, I am just going to switch out. The good thing about Leech Life is it does heal you up, but it also does next to no damage because it's only got, I believe, 20 base power. So, and I am going to be switching out into my Fire type because I'm 7 levels higher, and it probably doesn't matter. Let's use Double Kick here though. Should do a job. Surprised that didn't kill. I think Marill is bulkier than you'd expect. And there we go, down it goes. And we get enough experience to level up Combusken, which is nice. So we're now level 20. Pretty good attack stats. Yeah, pretty even all round, to be fair. And so if we now come up, and I don't know why I would rather do this, but yeah, so we'll continue to level up Zubat. It's going to be quite a while until we get a Crobat, but you know. Goldeen, I am again just going to switch out into Combusken rather than torture myself by going through that Leech Life again. You do get hit by Peck, which does not no damage, not 0 damage, but not enough that it matters. And Goldie now goes down in 1 double kick. Well, one turn of double kicks, I guess. And we do hit level 13 with Zubat, so we get a decent chunk of XP from that Goldeen actually. And now one more train to go. And then we've just got the museum to take on, and then we will be done with Slateport. So he has a Wingull, which is not the best thing for me to see, but it's still not going to do any damage to us really. And that is one of the reasons why it is pretty annoying to see because we can't kill it in one, and it also has supersonic. So hopefully this doesn't hit itself here, and I can just, well, one hit KO. That is useful, and I will probably switch out Combustion again anyway, so that I don't have to deal with the, I'm going to change Pokemon so that I don't have to deal with the confusion anymore, and also so that Zubat gets more experience. I think this is probably going to be a slightly shorter episode than some of the others, because I think I'm going to end it after we're done with the supersonic. Why not? Okay, because it always misses. I'm going to end it after we're done with the museum and ready to head up onto route. I'm not actually sure which route number is next, but we'll head up there and carry on with the main game. And there are some new Pokemon to catch up there, so we won't actually catch any Pokemon this episode. The first episode to have not caught anything, I believe, but there will be quite a few new Pokemon next episode. We're entering into a kind of new stage of the game. I'm not even going to bother switching out. I know Zubat needs the experience, but this is worse than levelling up routes when it didn't have any. And Ember does absolutely nothing, so I'll probably switch to Double Kick, and that's going to poison. Oh no. Hopefully this kills. Yeah, easy. And we get a useless crit there, but whatever. Again, a decent amount of experience there. Shame none of it went to Zubat, but you know, we're not really far away from the XP share, but I think hopefully Zubat will have hit a good level before we get to that stage. And we get the 6 bottles of Soda Pop as the prize for winning this area. So yeah, now we have one more thing to take care of in Slateport. We've bought the harbour mail, we have been to the shipyard, so now we need to go and find Captain Stern in the museum, and we do have to charge $50 for a museum entry, so it's not cheap. And this guy here, I believe, gives us... Yeah, so he's the guy from the Rust Turf Tunnel, and he gives us TM46, which I believe is Snatch. And there might be some other items to get in here, but yeah, the boss isn't available yet. So we'll have a quick look, but I don't think it's... I don't think there's any other items available down here apart from that TM. But it's always good to be thorough. And if we come upstairs, there is a couple of fights for us to do here, so I could have healed up. I don't know, I guess I'll just use the potion on Combustion. Might as well. And we do have a free item on Zigzagoon again, so let's see what we've got this time. And we get another Hyper Potion, so we're actually getting pretty lucky with those. We still haven't got any rare candies. I was playing through Ruby, and you get tons of rare candies from Zigzagoons, but in this game, pickup scales with level, so yeah, it's much less useful. And Team Aqua is asking for the parts that we've brought Captain Stern, which we are of course not going to give them, but instead we do a level 15 Carvana is not nothing at this stage. Carvana is pretty strong, and Sharpedo especially very strong, very frail, and not quite fast enough. Although later on it does get speed boost, so it becomes a bit more viable. In this game it just has a rough skin, which isn't that useful for a Pokemon as frail as Carvana. It's pretty good on Garchomp, and well, Iron Barbs on Ferrothorn is effectively the same thing, and it's pretty productive there, but thanks to Carvana just deciding not to attack us up until this stage, we've managed to do a decent chunk of damage. I think we'll see how much I heal up, but I think I have to switch out because otherwise Zubat's going to die, and I do not want to let Zubat faint because I believe that decreases Zubat's happiness, and as I mentioned earlier on in the episode, we do need Zubat to be happy. And we would have survived a rage, but if it'd gone for bite I would have died, so it's still worth making that switch, even if we did get bit. lucky in the end. So that's one down, and we've got one more to go. So thankfully we don't have to switch Zubat back in, it'll still be first in the party. And again, we're just racking up experience. Team Aqua Grunt sends out Zubat. Yeah, so we can't actually do any damage to Zubat. I'm going to switch out to Courier this time, just because Courier is the only Pokemon I have that can really hit Zubat at the moment. In fact, Zubat walls quite a lot of the team that I'm eventually going to build, but I won't worry too much about that. I have enough Pokemon that can deal with it, so as to not be too concerned. And I'm going to send out Zubat again to take on this Carvana. Hopefully it can heal up enough with Leech Life that it doesn't die to a bite or anything. I do only have one, and it's faster, and we die. Okay, that wasn't quite how that was meant to go, but oh well. It seems this level 14 Carvana was faster than the level 15 that we saw just a minute ago. But we do manage to one-hit kill with double kick, so that is good. As you can see, Carvana is very frail, unlike most water types. And we do level up to level 21 as well. Combustion's trying to learn Sand Attack. I don't think there's any point. I could teach it over Peck, but I don't think that's useful. I'm pretty sure Combustion learns Bulk Up at some point. If it doesn't, then I do also have a TM for Bulk Up. So that's going to be one of our final two moves, and then the last move will probably be Earthquake, but not entirely sure. And this is Team Aqua, I believe it's Archie. Yeah, I was going to say Maxi, but that doesn't make sense for Aqua. So this guy could easily just ruin our team at this point. Our team's not that strong, but instead of beating us, he decides to give us a warning and walk off, which doesn't seem particularly productive, but... And we hand over the Devon goods as well, which... Yeah. And we do get our Pokemon healed up, which is nice, because now we don't have to bother. And this is the SS Anne, which is I believe is the boat from the first Pokemon game, where you have to fight your rival and then rub the back of the guy who gives you cut. But yeah, so that's actually going to be it for this episode. As I mentioned, it's a slightly shorter episode, and the Pokédex hasn't changed at all, apart from maybe seeing a couple of new Pokemon. I'm not sure if we've seen a Carvana before this episode, so not too much to update on that front, but even so, I think it's been a good episode, and I'm happy with the progress we made. I'm happy to tie up Slateport and have that all squared away. There is one final thing that I could show off, so I guess we're chasing Scott up here. We're going to take on the Battle Tent Challenge. Yeah, so the final thing that we haven't looked at in Slateport is this Battle Tent. So these replaced most of the contest halls in Emerald, coming over from Ruby and Sapphire. So the way these work is that each tent has a different challenge to it. So this one, what I believe it is that you pick 3 Pokemon to take it on with. And they're all level 30, and you have to try and win through that. And there is a TM in here as well, which makes it worth coming to get. Which is Torment. Torment is pretty useless in game, but has some niche use in competitive play. What it does is it doesn't let a Pokemon use the same move twice. So, for instance, if you are a something like a Jirachi or a let's just save here. If you're a Jirachi or a Heatran and you use Torment, and your opponent only has like one neutral move or something that isn't resisted, or only one super effective move, you use Torment, and then you can stall out the Pokemon that is attacking you. So having just saved, we're going to save again. But yeah, I will show off some of the Battle Tent as it's been a shorter episode. I don't plan on showing off all of these, but I might as well as I'm here. And so yeah, this is when we get to choose 3 Pokemon. So we have a Courier, a Spinder, a Whismur, a Cacnea, a Goldeen, and a Beautifly. So I think I'm going to go with Courier, Beautifly, and then Cacnea. They're not all, none of them are very good Pokemon, but Whismur is pretty awful also. And so then the way this works is you just battle a series of these kind of fairly weak trainers with Pokemon at the same level as the 3 that you have taken on, and you have to win as many battles as you can. I can't remember exactly what the rewards are, but yeah, so I'm going to... It does set up a Whirlpool, which is a bit unfortunate. So that's just going to do some kind of damage over time. Courier went down to Plusle pretty easily, but I am now in with Cacnea, which thankfully resists the electric type moves, and I'm slowly regenerating my health and killing it with Sandstorm damage and Poison Sting. However, we do get crit, and we had a special defense drop, so this Plusle is pretty much 1v1ing our team, which probably shows our team is not very good, even with a +1 Courier. I also should have set up more with my Courier on the Whalmer, but, you know, we'll know for next time. I'm not too bothered about doing very well in this. I guess I can Mega Drain here, but I think I'm going to die to this Spark. Yeah, so that's us wiped, and we have lost the Battle Tent Challenge. So that's going to be it for now. But so yeah, not the most successful first attempt, but you can sort of see what they're going for with that, and it's fine. It's enjoyable-ish, but mostly I think using your own Pokemon and actually being able to build a strategy is a lot more interesting and fun. So yeah, won't be doing too much more in the battle tents, but it's good to show it off anyway, and we did manage to pick up that TM also. So yeah, next episode we will be taking on the next route, Route 110, but for now I am all done with Slateport, and I'm going to leave you there. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.